Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Journey to XRP. Stop what you're doing and pay close attention to what I have to say right now. This information I'm about to give you could mean the difference between having a stable financial future and losing it all in an instant. If you have cryptocurrency, this could be one of the most important movies you ever watch. You can use XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other coin. I'm not kidding. People lose everything they've worked for every day, and most of them don't even know what went wrong until it's too late. I saw someone lose more than $3 million worth of cryptocurrency not long ago. Gone. In seconds, it was gone. And just before that, someone else I know lost more than $1 million. These weren't first-timers. These investors had a lot of experience, people who knew about security and used cold wallets. But the truth is that hackers have changed. They are smarter, more patient, and more clever than ever. And even the best investors lose money because they don't think the hackers will go as far as they do. Before we go any further, I want to tell you something that will totally change how you think about money, how wealthy you are, and where you stand in the next financial era. It's not just a tool, it's called the XRP Millionaire Formula PRO. The XRP Millionaire Blueprint and the 100 times stock formula are both part of this method. Inside, you'll find out how the top 1% are setting themselves up, how they think differently, and how they move before everyone else does. It's made for people who want to learn how to think and invest like the best investors in the world. It also comes with weekly XRP updates that are only available to members. These updates give you secret information and help you think like the elite. You should look it over if you want to achieve life-changing wealth and keep it safe. There is a link to it at the top of the movie text right now. Let's listen to what I had to say again because you need to hear this story. I understand how bad it is to lose crypto. In 2017, I lost about $35,000. In terms of millions, it doesn't sound like a lot, but that much money today would fetch over 7 figures. What made me lose it? Easy. I wasn't careful. I felt like I was being careful. I believed that it would not happen to me, but that's what kills people in this place. That moment changed my life in every way. It showed me that crypto isn't just for trading. It has to do with duty. No matter how valuable your goods are, if your security isn't tight, you're just building a house on sand. People don't like to talk about this truth. Hackers take longer to act now. They move well. They'll make plans today and then wait for months or even years to do it. They will keep an eye on your wallets, balances, and moves. After that, they strike when the time is right. There's also no way to undo it, no customer service, and no protection. You can never get your crypto back once it's gone, as you might expect from someone who has been into crypto since 2017. One of my friends had a hardware wallet, backups, safes, and more, but the device itself was broken into. Someone had changed it before he even opened the box. It took the hackers a while. They didn't make any moves until his wealth was big enough for them to be worth it. After a while, everything was gone. Here is the first rule that will keep you safe. You should only buy your hardware wallet from the official website of the company that made it, not on Amazon, eBay, or any other site that says they can save you money. Go to Trezor.io to get a Trezor. Go to Ledger.com to get a Ledger. That's it. There is a risk with everything else. There are fakes out there that look just like the real thing. The boxes are sealed and look the same, but they already have malware on them that gets your seed phrase as soon as you set it up. They don't take your money right away either. They wait until you have more money in your pocket. Then one day, your screen goes blank and your whole portfolio is gone. I don't want anyone to feel that kind of pain. You can only avoid it if you pay attention to your safety. Crypto should not be a hobby, it should be a business. That means having a device that is only used for that one thing. Codes. There would be no Netflix, YouTube, or random surfing. You only need to connect your wallets, exchanges, and transfers. You're taking a risk every time you use your main PC for personal things. It only takes one infected file or one bad link to make your whole system vulnerable. Take a look. Is it really worth putting your whole wealth at risk because you opened a PDF? Of course not. Set up a PC or phone that only works with crypto. You'll never regret putting money into it. Let's look into this more, though, since most people don't know about it. The name of this little thing is YubiKey. This kind of physical security technology costs around $40 and is used by the US military to keep people safe. When you want to log in, you have to touch the device that you plug it into your PC or phone. It checks to see if it's really you by feeling your body heat. Hackers will still not be able to get into your accounts without that actual key, even if they get your password. That's real safety. Get 2 of them if you mean it. One you use every day and keep the other in a safe as a backup. That way, if you lose one, you'll still have the other. And even if someone got a hacker one, it wouldn't help them without your passwords. Take a look. A total investment of $80 could save your whole financial future. That's more than just safety. That makes me feel calm, but that's only the start. There's something that almost no one talks about if you have a Trezor, a wallet with a secret key. It's like having a secret room behind your main bank that you can only get into with a unique passphrase you make up. If someone gets into your main wallet, they will see that it has no money in it. While that is going on, your real assets are safe behind that transparent layer. I made a movie about it years ago, but not many people watched it. But the people who did something still thank me in messages today, because that one step kept them safe when everyone else lost everything. Telling people things doesn't really keep you safe. What actions do? No matter how many movies you watch, they won't help you if you don't use what you learn. Not because they don't know much about crypto, but because they're too sure of themselves. Most people lose money in it. They believe they are safe since they have been playing for a long time. But it's not always safe in crypto to use time. Discipline does that. I've seen rich people cry. People who made all of their money in crypto have gone broke overnight because of one careless move. It breaks my heart every time because it can be stopped. You only need to care enough to act now instead of later, because you can't get your money back once it's gone. That's why I'm telling you to take charge instead of reacting. Don't worry about safety until someone else does. Do not think that it will not happen to me. That's what everyone says just before it happens. There is good news, though. Everything changes when you decide to be in charge. You begin to think differently. You stop trying to get rich quickly and start working on getting rich in a way that lasts. You turn into the kind of investor who is smart as well as lucky. What makes the difference between those who make it and those who lose it all? It seems like the more I learn about crypto, the more I understand a simple but powerful truth. Keeping things safe isn't just a technical matter. It's a way of being. The way you think, act, and take the fact that you are now your own bank are all important. It's just that most people don't act that way. Even though they say, I'm decentralized, they act like customer service is always ready to help. You would call the bank in the old way if your card was stolen. There is no one you can call if your cryptocurrency wallet is stolen. The blockchain doesn't mind if something goes wrong. It only does what you tell it to do. That's why I keep telling people not to treat crypto like a game. It's important that you act like a pro. If you want to go even further, make a test wallet that is different from the main one. Don't link your main wallet to anything new. You can send a small amount of cryptocurrency to a test wallet and do all of your tests with that one. Your main funds are safe in case something goes wrong. Pros do things like that. Now let's talk about something that may seem dull, but in crypto it can save your life. Checking the transfers. I'm so relieved that I only had to take this one step. I send a small test trade before I send a big amount of crypto, even if it's to an address I know and trust. $10 or $20 maybe. Why? Because it proves two things. Check that the address is right and that the network you're using works well. I can't believe so many people skip this. They'll send $100,000 or more all at once and get scared when it doesn't arrive. When I ask, did you test it first? No, they say. It's not bad luck. That's not being careful. You can lose all of your crypto if you use one wrong word in an address. There are no exceptions on the blockchain, and there is no button to get your money back. So test first, even if you're sending to someone you know and trust. Your whole portfolio can be saved in just a few minutes. I need to warn you about one more thing. Browsers and add-ons that have been hacked. For ease of use, a lot of people use Chrome apps like price trackers, password managers, and wallet add-ons. But there's a catch. When you add an extension, hackers can get in through more than one point. There are some real tools out there, but others have been caught taking data or giving out private information. I think you should use a different browser just for crypto. Do not use it for any other reason. There would be no social media, live videos, or random searches. You only need to use your exchanges, wallets, and approved crypto tools. The same reasoning works for emails too. Your crypto email should be kept separate from your work and home emails. Also, make sure you turn on two-factor security when you set it up, but not the text message kind. Do not use a password manager like Google Authenticator or Authy. Instead, use a YubiKey or an app like Authy. Someone can get around SMS verification by SIM switching, which is when they trick you into moving your number to their device. After that, they'll get all of your codes. That's one way a lot of people lose their accounts. This has caused people to lose all the money in their exchange accounts. It would be awful to wake up and find that your recovery codes, email, and exchange login have all been stolen overnight, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's why you need more than one layer of safety. When you set up crypto, think of it as a fortress. Your defense is made up of many layers, such as your passwords, two-factor authentication, hardware wallets, and clean gadgets. Let me be honest about passwords. You are one mistake away from trouble if you are still using the same password for more than one account. For each important account, you need a long, unique password. Don't store your logins in the cloud. Instead, use a safe password manager that saves them locally. If you'd rather do things the old-fashioned way, write them down and keep them somewhere safe. Don't make it easy for people to attack. I know some of this sounds crazy, but give it some thought. Why wouldn't you take these steps when you could be handling hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars in crypto? Would you leave that much cash in a bag by your front door? Of course not. Still, people handle their coins the same way, out in the open, unprotected, and at risk. I also see something way too often. There are people who are photographing their seed words. Do not do that at any time. Don't save it to your phone, take a picture of it, or email it to yourself. Giving someone the keys to your safe is the same thing. Your seed word should only be on paper and kept in a safe that can't catch fire or water. Also, use a metal backup if you want to be extra safe. Something that won't fade or burn. If your house floods or fires, that small piece of paper could mean the difference between keeping your money and losing it forever. Some people I know lost everything because they didn't back it up properly. A man I talked to many years ago kept all of his XRP on a single tablet. There are no copies or written seeds. His computer broke down one day, and when he went to get his cash, it was gone. He wasn't hacked and lost it. He lost it because he didn't use it. That's another mistake that can be avoided at all costs. One more tip. Never show your funds to other people. Don't put pictures on the web. Do not tell anyone how much you hold. People will try to get your collection more if they know about it. Privacy keeps you safe. Your things are safer when not many people know about them. But I need to be clear about something. It's not about being afraid, it's about being aware of how you live. Because you don't have to worry all the time once you have processes in place. As long as you know you've done everything right, you can enjoy your crypto trip. You alone are in charge of your digital fortress, so that's how it feels to be truly financially free. It's important to know that your crypto is safe no matter what happens in the market or online. The bigger truth is this. Being careful, disciplined, and aware does more than just keep your crypto safe. It changes the way you think. This changes the way you move, think, and act so that you behave like the best investors in the world. Because early buyers aren't the only ones who win in crypto. They look out for what they've built. This is not advice about money. Let's go ahead, since there's still one more layer that most people miss. The difference between those who lose and those who win in this new financial world is how they think about duty and freedom. You see, when you really know what's going on with XRP Ripple and the move to on-chain banking, you realize this is around more than just making money. It has to do with placement, because people who are in the right place won't have to chase money anymore once this new system is fully in place and the tracks for finance, payment, and global trade are rebuilt. It moves to them on its own like water finding its level. Still, most people will miss it. They didn't act on the information, not because they couldn't get to it, but because they weren't wired to do so. They are going to skip past this. They will wait until someone says it's okay. They will wait for mainstream media to prove it, and the real chance will be gone by the time it comes. People who take responsibility early are the ones who get rich during paradigm shifts. They learn, they get it, they put the pieces together before it's easy. They don't get their ideas from the news or social media. They look things up on their own. They learn how the new system works and how it will replace the old one. And they act logically, not emotionally. In fact, Ripple has been doing that for years. They didn't get upset about the cases, the hate, or the false information. They stuck to common sense. They stayed focused on their goal. They knew what the bigger game was and played it slowly. Now that digital currencies are being used by central banks and banks like BNY Mellon and HSBC are quietly building on Ripple's technology stack, the board is almost ready to be played. There have been times in the past when a small group of people saw the world change before everyone else. It took place on the internet. It had to do with power. It took place with the printing press. This time, though, the change is in the money itself. That's why things are so much more important. Take a look at this. Every bank in the world rests on how fast, reliably, and cheaply it is to send money between countries. If you control that, you control the flow of trade around the world. Ripple knew that from the start. They didn't want to make another hyped-up coin. In other words, they wanted to be the pipes that held the new banking system together. The puzzle pieces are now coming together. Doubt won't lead to the next phase of wealth shift. It'll happen when they work together. The institutions that are using RippleNet and XRP for payment aren't just following the trend. They want to be efficient. Every day they save millions of dollars, and over time those saves will add up to trillions. That's adoption in the real world. Quiet, strategic, and unwavering. People who understand this early on and get ahead of the crowd are building the structures of tomorrow. They are not speculating. They are in a place where value will easily flow. This is what makes people who own the board different from people who play the game. The board itself is being changed right now. The 1% don't wait for approval or act out of fear. They do something before it's clear. Once your friend talks about XRP, influential people will praise its power, and CNBC will call it the future of banking. It will be too late to be early. Rich people know that you need to act quickly before everyone else sees the door. That's the change in thought going on right now among those who get it. As they change their way of thinking, they are going from being dependent to being independent. They don't want the government or banks to save them anymore. People are understanding that technology has made it possible for everyone to play on the same level as institutions, but only if they know how and are brave enough to do so. You can't just hold XRP. In other words, it's a link between the old and the new, between standard finance and on-chain finance, and between lack and plenty. People who think that way don't just invest in crypto. They're putting money into getting a place at the table in the new economy. That's why this moment is so strong, because not only rich people will be chosen in the next 5 years, they will choose who gets out free. Also, don't forget that freedom is more important than money. You understand how the system works and understand that XRP isn't about price talk, but about global liquidity, cross-border value exchange, and institutional adoption. Then everything makes sense. Stop trying to find short-term pumps and start setting yourself up for total change. That's what the smartest people in the area do. They don't freak out when the price drops. They're adding up while everyone else is busy. It takes time for them to see how the partnerships between banks, governments, and private groups come together. They know that when the switch is flipped, it won't happen slowly. It will happen right away. One news story, one relationship, and one integration. That's all it takes for prices to change quickly. There won't be time to do anything when that happens. Either you'll be placed or you won't. That's what this whole movement is all about. Being aware, taking duty, and acting. People who see are different from people who watch because of these three things. As you read this, there are people quietly gathering XRP. These people are learning about liquidity corridors, ISO 2022 integration, and Ripple's legal and regulatory changes. When the world's financial system finally switches to on-chain settlement, they will have the rarest digital asset in the world, because banks aren't the only ones who want to send money faster. The whole way value goes around the world needs to be rewired. The old method was slow, expensive, and didn't include everyone. The new method will work right away, be clear, and include everyone. Ripple's technology is already a big part of that change. As this change speeds up, remember that now is the time to change the way you think, to take charge of your own learning, to change your way of thinking so that you can stop reacting and start making, because that's real wealth, not just money in the bank, but also power over your time, energy, and choices. People who think that way now will be in charge of the new economy in the future. As we come to an end, please take a moment to understand what you are seeing. You are seeing the biggest change in money in the history of the world happen right in front of you. Just the fact that you know how important XRP is in this is already putting you ahead of 99% of people. What are you going to do with it? Because being rich doesn't just happen. It comes from being lined up. And XRP is now moving in the right direction with the future of money. Tokens, decentralization, and connectivity are the ways of the future. Now, all that's left to decide is whether you'll be able to gain when everyone finally catches up. Take that knowledge even further by reading the XRP Millionaire Formula per row. It will show you exactly how the top 1% place themselves before these kinds of changes happen. It's where we break down not only the plan, but also the way of thinking that this new financial class works. You'll get special updates every week, in-depth information about XRP, and access to the same wealth framework that the best investors in the world use. The link is at the very top of the video's story. I'm sure you'll want to check it out before the next wave comes in.